Good morning, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon speaking from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. And today, I want to share a quote with you from Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra is talking about giving in this quote, and I quite like it, and I hope you will too. This quote says, "Giving connects two people, the giver and the receiver. And this connection gives birth to a new sense of belonging." And so you can imagine giving and receiving are both pleasant. And when done with good heart, the receiver is benefiting and the giver is benefiting. And this is a lovely space to be. So the reason I want to speak about giving today is because we've talked about the few stages before this time, but today I want to talk about the birth of the giver. And I want you to know that, we've gone through innocence, we've gone through the birth of the ego, we've gone through the birth of the achiever. And the achiever can also be giving. The achiever is giving based on a need for recognition and or a desire for recognition at least. So we can see this in philanthropists, for example, who might spend loads of money to give to a hospital, for example, and they will give large sums, but they want their plaque at the front of that hospital to show that they have given to this hospital. Sometimes it'll have even the amount that they have given. Sometimes this is how fundraisers often are working with different groups and philanthropists. There's that awareness of the psychological desire to be recognized for the work that's helped any particular area. And this is fair. This is a good space to give from for sure. And over time, that ego attachment to the need for recognition is also overcome in our conscious evolution. So there comes a point where a person does not need the recognition, and this is the time that there is the birth of the giver. And the birth of the giver is a beautiful space to be in. So this is the time that a giver wants to give just for the sake of giving, not because of any recognition needed. And it's important to recognize that in our society and perhaps all over the world, many people are stuck in the stage of the achiever. So people are accomplishing things and they're certainly giving to one another, but there is a need for recognition or approval or feedback about appreciation of the giving that is done. So you'll see that in many relationships are what are sometimes called transactional relationships. And in those relationships, couples will say to each other, whether consciously or subconsciously, well, I'll clean the house if you cook the meal. Or I'll pay the bills if you will take out the garbage every week. I will take care of the kids in terms of their education if you take care of them in terms of their sports. So all of these things, these are transactions that are happening, and it's very much limited to that achiever mode. So in consciousness development and evolution, it's a very good space to be. But over time, consciousness evolves where it doesn't need the recognition, doesn't demand it or require it or even feel that it's missing anything if it's not getting it. It's in the birth of the giver. And this space is a beautiful space to be in. It also, of course, gets to a particular space where this is not enough. And we'll see how consciousness evolves from here too. But I would like you to think about, how do you give in your relationships, in your life, whether to yourself or to other people? Do you give and then remind yourself, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, they didn't do this, or they do this? Is it through a space of appreciation? Is it through a space of wanting feedback from yourself or another? These are some important things to consider as we think about our evolving consciousness. I wish you a beautiful day ahead, full of giving and receiving, but joyfully on both sides. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.